Welcome back to another episode of JTF Truth Uncensored. This is Shlomo, and I have with me here Chaim Ben Pesach.
We're going to be discussing on this particular video the open border and the crisis on the United States-Mexico border. We see here an article from Fox News: border crisis could provide cover to ISIS operatives, say experts. These are experts in terrorism and in foreign terrorists that try to infiltrate into countries, and they're saying that the Muslim terrorists are going to be able to exploit the fact that we have an open border in effect. We have no controls on our border.
Here's another one from American Thinker. ISIS and an open border, perfect storm. We're not just looking at terrorists coming through the border, we're also looking at drugs, the world's most violent and dangerous gangs, murderers, rapists, disease. I mean, it goes beyond just even terrorists. But we've got a very serious issue at the border right now, and it doesn't seem like our government is doing anything about it.
Oh, I think the government is doing the opposite. The government is doing everything to encourage this. Barack Hussein Obama deliberately gave children American citizenship and is basically giving them a path to citizenship, and is unilaterally, without getting congressional approval, issuing executive orders that are in effect legalizing the illegal aliens. And this is encouraging a huge swarm of illegal aliens from the third world to want to cross the borders. And you're absolutely right, Shlomo. A very high percentage of drug offenses and violent crimes in this country are now being committed by illegal aliens who are coming into this country because of our open border.
And because of the lack of voter ID, we've got Obama and the Democrats wanting to bring in some of these illegals so they can get voted into office. They know that if they grant amnesty, they're going to be in office forever.
Of course, that's 20 million more left-wing Democrat voters. There are 20 million illegal aliens in the country. We know that they're going to vote for the left-wing Democrats. And we saw in the last election, Obama already got elected and reelected, so there's already a huge percentage of people willing to vote for him. That plus 20 million more illegal alien voters, the illegal aliens then becoming citizens, we would forever have only left-wing Democrats in office in the United States. You'd have one-party rule.
Here's a video, some of the border ranchers that are upset with how bad the border is, inviting Nancy Pelosi to come see why her $2 million per mile fence is trash.
I want to invite Nancy Pelosi down. She went to Texas to see the kids, so come here, see where the dope and the bad guys are coming through the border.
Arizona's is insecure. Half of the drugs, half of the people are smuggled in the Tucson sector. Come see why your $2 million a mile fence is trash.
And we will send a plane for you. We'll make arrangements. You can stay at our house. It's an invite from, it's sincere. Come look at it.
We've been doing this for over 9 years. Anybody that tells you this southern border is secure is full of crap.
I think it's a good idea that they're challenging Nancy Pelosi, but I think it would also be a good idea if they challenged Jeb Bush.
Absolutely.
And the Republicans. Jeb Bush said it's an act of love to illegally sneak into the United States.
Completely insane.
It's an act of love. I mean, this is just beyond words already. And this is supposed to be one of the front runners for the Republican presidential nomination. Rand Paul has also said we should stop complaining about illegal aliens coming into the country and about open borders. Rand Paul says that this is hurting us among minority voters when we discuss this. We will never have another Republican president, another conservative president, another half-decent president in this country if we give them amnesty. Rand Paul and Jeb Bush and these Republican sellouts are a disaster just as much as Nancy Pelosi is a disaster.
Act of love. I mean, it's well known that about a third of the little girls that come over the border are sexually abused. That's not an act of love to encourage those girls to come across the border. What kind of act of love is that? What kind of act of love is it to bring disease and to bring all these problems into this country? Not to mention all the illegals that are terrorists or gang members or murderers or rapists.
And, you know, just to go back to the original point that you were making, Shlomo, about terrorists coming into the country. Let's remember the 19 Muslim terrorists who carried out the 9/11 attacks were in the United States illegally. Illegal aliens are a very serious security threat to the United States. Very serious. If we don't deal with this problem, we're going to have situations like 9/11 again. We're going to have much worse than 9/11. God forbid.
Well, here's a book that Texas Rancher found near the border. It's an Urdu to English dictionary. Pretty scary stuff here.
Yeah, and Urdu, for those who don't know, is Hindi is the real way to say it. But the Muslims don't like the word Hindi because they want it to be a Muslim language. But it's Indian Muslims and Pakistani Muslims. We know that many Pakistani Muslims and many Indian Muslims support Osama bin Laden. We know there are whole regions of Pakistan where they openly support Osama bin Laden.
It's also spoken in parts of Afghanistan, too.
Yeah, you're dealing with people coming across the border who already are supportive of Islamic terrorism.
Here we've got Muslim prayer rug found on Arizona border by independent American security contractors. Look at this. They're finding all kinds of stuff here on the border. Proof that it's not just people from Mexico coming in. In fact, in 2006, a congressional report described 1.2 million illegal aliens apprehended. And out of that, 165,000 of them were from countries other than Mexico. And 650 of them were from, quote unquote, special interest countries. I mean, this is absolutely frightening.
And you know, the interesting thing is the ones that come from Muslim countries, it's much easier, much more convenient if a Muslim wants to come into the United States illegally to just come in with a visitor visa or to just come in with their passport and then overstay their visa. That's the easiest way to do it. They just overstay their visa and nobody checks and nobody sees anything. To go all the way down to the Mexican border and cross the border illegally, that's the hard way to do it. That means they have something to hide. They're coming in here not just as an illegal alien, but with some nefarious plan to do something. These are very, very highly suspicious situations where you have so many Muslims trying to cross the Mexican border, and I'm sure that there are terrorists among them.
Well, in July 2012, that hearing before the full U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Homeland Security, DHS Security, Janet Napolitano confirmed that terrorists have crossed the southwest border with the intent to harm the American people.
Of course. I mean, there's no doubt that they're going to try to do this. There's no doubt. And again, it doesn't make sense for them to go all the way down to the Mexican border and try to do it the hard way unless they have something to hide beyond just being illegal aliens.
Here in 2011, we had remember the Muslim cleric who called for the death of that Danish cartoonist who drew pictures of the Prophet Mohammed.
Yeah.
He was actually caught being smuggled into the U.S. over the Mexican border in 2011.
Yeah, this is really, really incredible that the United States government, Barack Hussein Obama, Democrats, and many Republicans in Congress are exposing the American people to this type of danger. It's just absolutely obscene.
I think it's time for the people of the United States and Israel to finally wake up. And if you agree, then join our Forum and Jewish Task Force Facebook pages.
And you don't have to be Jewish to join.
Also, you can help us by liking and favoriting our videos.
Join with us together. Let's wake up the people of America and Israel before it's too late.
Shalom.